All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how Chad and Tyrone, which ultimately represents men that can get women from the Edomite community and from the Israelite community, right? How Chad and Tyrone and all these baddies, they're all going into the lake of fire, right? All of these people that are just popularized and praised because of worldly things such as that, they're all going into the lake of fire. They don't have any kind of spirituality about them in any kind of way. They're going to be through when this thing goes down, man. They're going to be looking stupid out here when it goes down. They're going into the lake of fire, which is going to be in Babylon the Great. And a lot of them are going to get a little taste of all the different fires that's going to be going on around the world that Yahweh is going to bring, man, and the judgments that Yahweh is going to bring other places in the world. This is Luke chapter 16, Luke chapter 16 and verse 15. And he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but God knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of God. Right? Chad and Tyrone and all these baddies, that's highly esteemed among men. All of these different celebrities, these people that get women and all that, like with ease. All of these influencers, iShowSpeeds, Neon, Aiden Ross, all these people that be doing clown ass stuff, doing stupid ass things online for money, dancing zesty as hell to women, to music that would be for female strippers, right? All of these people that do all of this stuff, they're highly esteemed among men, because the first thing that people are gonna say in their defense, if you start bunning them out for how wicked they are, is, but they're getting that bag though. That's the number one Jake line, man, all universally known amongst around the whole world. But they're getting that bag though, as if anything you do that makes you money is all right, man. Doesn't matter what you do as long as there's a financial reward at the end. Like women will defend being a harlot because they're getting a bag. They'll defend, right? They'll defend setting up a subscription of $5.99 so that men can see them naked. But if you just went up to, like, here's the thing, just picture the way how the digital OnlyFans thing works and all that, right? Where you have all these men digitally do that to see these women naked, right? Just imagine that a woman literally set up somewhere a booth, right? She set up somewhere a booth, and she was charging $5.99 for men to pay to enter into that booth, and then she lifts off her top. She lifts off her top and shows them her breast or something, or shows them what she looks like naked, and then they get out, and then she says next, right? And then the next person puts $5.99 into a payment plan or whatever, right? And then he comes and does that, as comes and looks and see what she looks like naked as well. And then the next man does it, and then the next man does it, and they're just a line around the corner. However many numbers of people that these women have to get to where they got these OnlyFans, where they're making all these millions. Just imagine that amount of men that are signed up to that woman's OnlyFans started up a line around the world, or a line around the corner, around the road. You know how gross that would look like. You know how gross that would look. But that's what highly esteemed among women, certain women, man. Because they're getting that bag though, right? That's the only thing that Jake cares. As long as you're getting that bag though, or when you're getting that bag though, you're just a hater. They're getting that bag though. Or but they got that bag, she got the bag though. And then the women will get a literal bag, some Gucci, some whatever the stupid brands are, with some dumb Edomite's name on there. Right? Now another thing to go into this female thing, right? That I heard, I think it was one of these red pill guys. I want to say it was Black Ram 313, but I don't know exactly who it was, but I think it was him. But I'll just say what the analogy was that he gave anyway. It was something along the lines of, imagine a woman, right, in a room with all the different men that she ever slept with in that room. And then imagine, as a woman or as a man, right, if you would want to enter into that place, if it's a party, and just imagine how gross that is. Just imagine one woman in a house or in a room, and let's say she's got a body count of 10. You'll be looking at the woman like, why the hell are you in a house with 10 men? What are you doing? Ain't you thinking about your safety? What are you doing in a house with 10 men? What are you doing in there? Right? Now imagine a woman in a house with 2 men. You'll be thinking, man, what's going on? Why are you in that house with that man? Like, it could be two men that she knows. Why are you in that house with those two men? What are you doing? And it's only kind of not begins to kind of be normal when she's in the house with one man that she knows. But now imagine some of these women that got a body count of 50, of 100 and all that, of 1,000. One woman in a room with 1,000 men. One woman in a house with 1,000 men. That's gross. But that's highly esteemed among men. That's highly esteemed among certain women where they really, women ain't even completely ashamed to be a harlot. They still won't tell their full body count, but they're not ashamed anymore to be a harlot. You know that they're a hoe with a lot of these women now, but you don't know the levels to which the whoredom goes, right? You know they're a hoe, but you're like, how much, with how much, like that's a bit skewed, you know? Like the woman's a harlot, but the level of what harlotry she's at, you're like, you don't really know, because they're not going to still say their body count, because they know deep down that it's evil and wicked. But I just wanted to do this quick video on how Chad and Tyrone, all this Chad and Tyrone stuff, all this high value man stuff, right? All this is getting to the bag. All this, oh, she's so beautiful, she's so fine, the way how she dresses, girl. She don't take no ish. She don't take no ish from no man. She's a boss bee and all of this. All of that's going into the lake of fire. All those kind of people, they're going into the lake of fire, man. They ain't making it in the kingdom. They ain't making it. They're way too proud, man. Their levels of pride are skied off the roof. It's gone out of control. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right? And here's the thing: if you are not of the world ain't gonna love you anyway. The world's gonna hate your guts. You ain't gonna blend in with these people. When you go out in public, the world's gonna be against you even being there. They're not gonna want you around. You might go somewhere, ask a question about a certain place or some certain thing, and you're gonna just get the vibe from them that even though you're gonna be a paying customer, they don't want you there. They don't actually want your service, man. Now that's gonna happen to a certain degree because we're Jakes in this world under the curses anyway. You got all this hurry up and buy with Moabites and all that. Hurry up and buy, right? Like they think that you have to go in their store and buy something, like you can't have ever went into their store and changed your mind. But like, you know what, I was gonna get this, but now I'm gonna save my money. They'll assume that if you these heathens are so wicked that they assume you stole. If you don't, if they see you come into their store and leave without buying something, they think you was in there to steal, rather than you was in there looking for something, and you might have wanted something initially, but then you changed your mind, right? Verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of the Lord, the will of God, abideth forever. And all of these people that are of the world, they're anti-Yahushai. Verse 18, little children, it is the last time. And as you have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now there are many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. And all these Pookie and Ray, Chad and Tyrone, these boss bees, the women that are calling themselves a boss bee, a baddie and all of that, right? They're going into the lake of fire because they are proud as hell. They're going to be in them ICBMs when them ICBMs are singing through the sky. They're going to still be on the ground, and they're going to take the micro. They're going to take the MOTB. You know, they're going to take, let me say it like this, they're going to take the micro. Yeah? All those people, those women and men that I mentioned, Chad and Tyrone, right? They're taking the micro. You get me? They're taking the micro, right? And they're going to take the micro with a portion of chips. Yeah? They're going to take the micro with a portion of chips. All of these people, man, they're going to take the micro with a portion of chips. Yeah? That's what all of these Chad and Tyrone, all these men that are boss bees, all these men that are chasing the bag chasers, they're going to take that. And they ain't going to feel grieved in their spirit, grieved in their heart to do so. They're going to take it. It's not going to be nothing to them to take it. Because they're of the world, right? They're the things that are highly esteemed among men. John chapter 18, John chapter 15 and verse 17, these things I command you, that you love one another. If the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. So if you're a person that's actually righteous, you're not going to actually be liked by most people, man. People ain't going to like you. Not, and here's the thing, they're not going to like you because you're just deliberately trying to be disrespectful to people. They're just not going to like you because you're different from them in a spiritual way. You're different from them according to the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And you're against the prideful way that they are. right? You're just against it. So they ain't going to like you because of that. It's going to be naturally occurring. Verse 19, if you were of the world would love his own, because they'd be like, yeah, you're one of me. So people that are chasing the bag, people that are doing trying to be a Chad and Tyrone, right? Trying to go gym not to get their health right, so that they can be a Chad and Tyrone, right? Because they know that women like big arms. So now they're doing 20 bicep curls, 25 miles per hour in the gym, 20 million sets of bicep curls, because they heard women like big arms, yeah. Trying to go on a calorie deficit, getting their steps in, not because it's healthy, but because they want to be a Chad and Tyrone, right? So that they can try and stunt on other men and sleep with other men's wives. That's of the world, right? And then the men that are also of the world that have their woman commit adultery on them, they then end up being like, yeah, now I'm gonna try and become a Chad and Tyrone so that I can commit adultery on another man's wife. So it's a vicious circle of people that are of the world that don't think back and be like, you know what, that guy that offended me, that was wicked what he did. They think that guy that did that got me because he was a Chad and Tyrone and I wasn't one at the time, but now I'm gonna be a Chad and Tyrone and do the same thing to somebody else. They don't think, man, we should have been living in a righteous society where the judgment of the Lord goes out. They don't think of it that way because they're of the world and they view those kind of people as highly esteemed among men. They don't look at a man that's a so-called Chad and Tyrone committing adultery with other man's wife. They don't look at that guy like a scumbag. They look at him like he's winning. And that, oh well, he was doing the press ups in the gym. He was doing this and he was doing that. He's the one that got his money up so that the woman was lusting after him. So he beat you at the game of life. So that's why he wanted to leave. They don't think that guy is a demon, and really that the community should sort him out. That society should sort him out, and that it should be a pillar of stones that are getting swung off. They don't view it like that. They think that that man's actually righteous. The women view women that are just going around getting flown out to this rapper's house, that rapper's house, this musician's house, that musician's house, this basketball player's house, that basketball player's house, this YouTuber's house. I mean, at the house party, that she's living it, that she's getting to the bag, and that she's just living her best life. They don't view it as she's gross and that she's able to deal with all these men for like a week or a month at a time, and then they just do whatever they want to do with her, but then cast her away at the end, and she don't actually get no relationship out of them anyway. They don't view it like that. They view it as something highly esteemed among the women, among the women, right? They view it as that. They don't view it as evilness and wickedness. They view it as a good thing, right? But all of those things that are highly esteemed among men are an abomination unto the Lord. Let's go back and let me see exactly 1 second. So lucky. Let me go. Let me go back and see how it said it exactly. It was Luke 16 and 15, right? Yeah, it says an abomination. Luke chapter 16 and verse 15. And he sent unto them and he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men. And all that Chad and Tyrone stuff and all of this going around and wanting to sleep with next man's wives. A lot of that trying to sleep with next man's wife stuff, right? And all these women that are trying to sleep with this guy and sleep with that guy that are celebrities and famous, right? Despite whether it means they have to commit adultery and sin against Yahweh or not. A lot of that's done to try and look good in front of the people. The men be trying to sleep with the next man's wife so that they can try and tell that story to their boys, right? Oh, I dealt with this man's wife, you know. She was all over me, or she was doing everything like, and it's that they can boast in front of men. But really, somebody that's an adulterer should be scared to boast in their adultery, because they should be living in a righteous society where the people are going to say he committed adultery. In the kingdom, when we're above these heathens and we're no longer sinning no more, when these heathens start trying to come with their boastful stories about adultery, there's going to be other heathens that are trying to be more righteous among them that are going to run and snitch and tell us. I heard Akhtar Singwell said that he was committing adultery with another man's wife. My master, do you know what I mean? And then we're gonna be like, yeah, he said that, right? All right, let me get him. And we're gonna fly our chariot over the city, man. We're gonna park it up in the sky, jump down, and land like Kalel, and enact the laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man, as true judges, kings, and priests of the earth, right? We ain't gonna be dishonorable leaders. We're gonna be righteous. The power of the earth is in the power of the earth is in the power of the Lord, right? And in due time, He's going to settle with one that's profitable, and that's going to be Yahweh Shai, right? And Yahweh Shai is going to give us the power to be righteous judges on the earth. That which is highly esteemed among men is abomination into the sight of the Lord, and those people that are proud in this world and loved by the world are going into the lake of fire, man, in them ICBMs that the Lord is going to activate in due time at the end, as the end result of World War III, man, right? All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. Shalom.